Hello and welcome to Little Birdie Sports Show for a Monday first look. I'm your host, Nikki Sylvester. Joining me today is MG for the AFL Round 16 review. Sadly, Toprope is a scratching for the NRL Round 16 review, so we'll quickly skim over that for you. First Look is proudly brought to you by Little Birdie TV, topsport.com.au, Punting Form and Manscaped for the very best in men's grooming. MG, how are you? I haven't seen you much over the weekend. Did you miss me?
Always miss you, Nikki. Yes. Someone was bunkered down in the office working hard. Geez, there's a lot of sport on this weekend. It was, I know last week was unbelievable, but geez, it's a busy middle part of the year for sport. Lucky we've got plenty of screens downstairs to cover all the bases.
You have so much to cover today. Oh my God, the Aussies have been out in force. You've been up all weekend. Plus you've got Wimbledon, which you love. Wow. So much for you.
I'm also picking up Toprope's paycheck for today because I'm covering his bases as well. So it's a good start to a Monday morning for sure.
Yeah, he's pulled in sick. He's a late scratching, which is unheard of really for Toprope. So he must be quite unwell. So we're sending best wishes up there to Orange.
Yes, he's leaving me to handle everything, and we'll see how we go with my rugby knowledge, league knowledge. Sorry,
you got good league knowledge. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll back you up. All right, so let's quickly skim through it. We've got Wimbledon. We're into week 2, and here we go. Your man Djokovic is there. 145 Djokovic, Nadal 650, Kyrgios at 10, who you don't like. Sinner at 26, Cameron Norrie at 31, Demonor at 41, Taylor Fritz 41, David Goffin 151, and Brandon Nakashima at 251.
Geez, you flew through those names very impressively. Well done. Better than our Friday host who struggled through them, maybe. But no, very impressive. Yeah, Wimbledon, there's no shortage of entertainment going on, we'll call it, in Wimbledon. Certainly hasn't been a quiet one. For the men's, they lost obese man Alcatraz, as he calls him, last night. He was third favourite, so Kyrgios has just tightened up a little. Nothing's really changed at the very top end. Djokovic is going along. He's into 145. Nadal second pick, and Kyrgios is providing plenty of entertainment on the way through, both on and off the court, and he's into third pick. And the way the draw is now shaping up is the Aussies have got 3 men's left, and we've got a chance with the way the draw is set up that we potentially could have 2 quarterfinalists together, Kyrgios and Demonor, and would guarantee us a semi-finalist at Wimbledon. So, that'd be awesome to see the Aussie men, which I don't think has been done for over 20 years.
I was just going to say, who was the last time that we had a men?
I think it was back in the Rafter, maybe.
Yeah, Pat Rafter.
Yeah, so so for the men's, exciting. Goodwill's the other one. So, it's going well for the men's.
Perfect. And what about the ladies? The ladies, here we go. Ons Jabeur, 260, Simona Halep, 5, Amanda Anisimova at 9, Paula Badosa at 11, Julie Neymar, 15, Elise Cornet at 17, Elena Rybakina at 18, Maria Buzkova at 18, and Harmony Tan rounds out at 21.
Yes. Geez, you read those well. We had to give OB lessons. Yeah, we lost the favourite 2 days ago. So, Jabeur now is a clear pick. Halep's probably the one with experience, I guess, left, or the name player that people would realise. So, it's pretty weak in the females in the draw this year. So someone's there for the taking to put a Grand Slam champion on. Probably other than Halep, I don't think anyone else has won one in the draw. So it's wide open, and there's plenty of value now in the women's draw.
Perfect, some value there. So if you like someone, get on at topsport.com.au. And the Tour de France has started?
Yeah, Tour de France. Yeah, didn't quite get to see too much of that. It was out of a lineup over the weekend, but we'll get into that this week when it quietens down. But there's plenty of crashes early as well. Look forward to it. It's a long tour over 3 weeks, so we will update that as the weeks go on. Plenty
to come in the following weeks, and congratulations to the West Coast Fever. They won their first crown in the netball grand final last night. What did they win? 70-59.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the netball, you're telling me pre-show. I don't know why that's not one of your better sports, but awesome effort. West Coast Fever, first-year coach. He and the first time West Coast Fever have won in the Times competition of 25 years, so in front of a home crowd sellout. I think they got just north of 13,000. So I know that those figures don't impress you too much, but for the Perth crowd, they need big sporting events over there, and they certainly got one. They were loud. I did watch the match, led by their goal shooter, the Jamaican girl Fowler, was unbelievable. Oh, wow. She shot 58 of 59 shots at 98%. So watching the AFL week after week, geez, I'd love to have someone like herself maybe needs to come to the AFL just to improve the goal kicking there and give him some tutelage, I would say. But yeah, big effort in front of a big crowd, and they put on a really good thing, a really good contest, and the TV coverage was great. So good on the girls and the netball.
Well done to the West Coast Fever. And if we move along to the cricket, Australia's dominating over there. So they won the first test versus against Sri Lanka, and they got a W on the board. What did they win by? 10 wickets. Oh, amazing. Go the Aussies.
Yeah, bowled them out pretty cheaply on a pretty savage turning wicket there. The spinners took over in the second innings, bowled them out really cheaply. So finally, the Australians been a long tour. They lost the T20 in the one-day series against Sri Lanka. So, yeah, good to see them get a test win on the board.
Perfect. And if we move along to the boxing, we've got Jay Opatea won his world cruiserweight going the distance, and he broke his jaw. He couldn't even talk afterwards if you were having a look, if you're watching that. But amazing. So he's won world cruiserweight, Jay Opatea.
Yeah, one of the unbelievable fight to watch. It was actually highly entertaining. He broke his jaw in the second round. And just to continue on with that, it's don't mind my boxing and do a bit myself. And tell you what, to get a broken jaw and then just to be able to wear the amount of shots that he had through the rest of the fight, that's courage in itself. But to go on and win the fight, there's not too many boxers that would have carried on. But then also to win the fight, and his interview afterwards was short and sweet because the poor guy couldn't speak. So he will be sucking a lot of soup in the weeks to come.
Oh, it's amazing. I say credit to all boxers because it is one tough sport. You got to be super fit, and then you got to take the hits. And then when you see someone like that win after having literally the jaw down here, amazing. The pain that he would have been in, but that's what it takes.
Yep.
And then
the UFC, I will intro you in the UFC because I did not have time to watch this on the yesterday. So I know you love your UFC. So tell me about Volkanovski there.
Yeah, so Volkanovski beat Holloway, and that was the undercard, so the main undercard to the fight, and that was in Vegas. Now he's going to, so he won the featherweight. Now he's going to step up and do lightweight. So if anyone who follows the UFC will know that that's exactly what Conor McGregor did. So he dominated featherweight, and then he went to lightweight. So Volkanovski is looking to do the same thing, and he'll go to double champ status. And interestingly enough, The Rock tweeted after that he had never seen a fight like that, and basically just said he's the greatest of all time in that division. I think that's pretty good in my book.
Very good. Good viewing, the UFC?
Yeah, amazing. In Nevada. Of course, they get behind it. They love a fight.
Sounds like you're not too far away from a trip over there shortly, I'd say. Just representing the little bird in Vegas. Any excuse for you?
Vegas and I would go very well together, I'm sure.
All right. What about the GP, the British Grand Prix we had overnight? Where Carlos Sainz wins his first ever Formula One, and Ferrari had a bit of trouble, which didn't help their cause. And your mate Ricciardo, he finished 13 of the 14 cars that finished, so he's not having a good year at this stage. No,
at this stage, I can't see Ricciardo having a contract extended next year, and I'm not sure another team would pick him up. I don't know what's going on with him this year, but yeah, Carlos Sainz won. Amazing. So his first ever pole to victory. Lewis Hamilton ran third, which was amazing for Silverstone because they love it when the Brits get there. And it was a great GP. Yeah, I mean, Max Verstappen seventh. There was a little crash. So it was a really good watch for the F1. Great. It was a great race.
F1. All right. Very good. Okay. And the last wrap up we've got for the week is the Live Golf. Unfortunately, we normally throw to Toprope for this, but the Live Golf, Brandon Grace won the Live Golf in America over the weekend, and he has picked up, two tournaments in the Live. He's picked up 6.6 million, and in the 182 tour events beforehand, he's picked up 12.2. So he's halfway there in two tours over 182. So not sure if Toprope had any success over the weekend in the golf, but that's the only update I can give you in the Live Golf over the weekend.
Geez, those figures don't lie, do they? And you can understand why so many players are defecting to Live. That's a lot of games. It's a lot of tours. 182. How many years is that on tour?
Yeah, not sure. It's a lot.
Jesus. Okay, thanks, MJ. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back with the AFL. Welcome back for the AFL Round 16 review, proudly brought to you by topsport.com.au. Bet with a bookie you can trust, bet with TopSport. Okay, if we have a quick look at the Round 16 results, Brisbane beat the Western Bulldogs 108-67, St Kilda beat Carlton 93-78, Essendon beat Sydney 95-86, Melbourne beat Adelaide 94-65, Geelong beat the Kangaroos 144-32. Collingwood beat the Gold Coast 67-62. Richmond beat West Coast 128-93. GWS beat Hawthorn 72-50, and Fremantle took care of Port Adelaide 99-91. MG, thoughts on the round?
Yeah, not a bad round. There was, plenty of action going on for sure. Brisbane flexed their muscles back at home against the Bulldogs. Important win for them. They just show Brisbane how much of a better side they are at home. I think it's north of 40 points the difference between their home results to away this year. So, very disappointing the week before against Melbourne. Bounced back against Bulldogs were okay. They were just outclassed in Brisbane. So, good win for Brisbane. Now puts Bulldogs right in the danger zone of missing finals, I think, for this year. The next match was, Carlton were probably pretty disappointing. I think they outkicked themselves, really. They should have won the game on accuracy. But, St Kilda got the job done. Huge win for St Kilda. Not sure it's enough. They probably need one more upset, I think, in the run home to have a chance to play finals, but definitely puts them back into the mix. Your Bombers. Geez, you got to take the small wins for you guys. But, again, Sydney were probably disappointing in front of goal a bit, but Essendon played well to get the win. I'm not sure where Essendon are at. They're very inconsistent up and down, and they're kind of a side that when they're on, they show why they made finals the year before and stuff. But I think that, again, comes back to the coaching is why there's the consistency is not there for this side. But, really bad loss for Sydney, and then now puts them in the danger zone for the finals. Of the rest, Melbourne just got the job done, covered the line really late against Adelaide. It was a pretty ordinary match, actually. I think it's going to be hard for sides like Melbourne playing the weaker sides just to switch on and get the job done. Geelong, we don't need to talk too much about that. We tipped on the Friday show that they could really put up a huge number. I think I might have tipped Toprope on the show, maybe look at the 100 points over, or he actually told me it was at a 100-point win coming up. So it might have been a good win there for Toprope. But, Kangaroos are a disaster zone. We've spoken about them. Probably one of the matches I was looking forward to the most was Collingwood and Gold Coast. Unfortunately, the standard of the game was atrocious, I'm going to say. Very ordinary after what looked a positive start in the first quarter. Collingwood grounded out a good win. It was a good win for the punters that followed the podcast as well, because as an outsider, I couldn't believe the money for Gold Coast went from -1 to -5.5. And I just thought Collingwood with the value there, so that was a good job done. And Richmond get the job over West Coast, again late. Covered the line. I think they actually covered the line after the siren. That line went from 30.5 at the early of the week, closed 44. So those who got on early got the chocolates, and those who didn't missed. The last two games, GWS in unbelievable weather. They got the job done against Hawthorn. Important win for, I guess, GWS going forward. But, Hawthorn look like their season's done. And one of the better matches of the round was over in Perth late, and Fremantle got the job done. Back and forth match. Both played well, and Port definitely had a chance to steal it late. Unfortunately, their clutch man, Gray, missed a shot from about 30-35 out with 2 or 3 minutes to go, and then Marshall, who's hardly missed this year, from 15 metres out, missed as well. So they will rue that going forward, and that probably puts Port out of action for finals for this year.
Geez, it's hard when they're under pressure, isn't it? Thanks, MG. Okay, now if we have a look at the Week 16 results, we've got 6 of 9 faves, 4 of 9 covers, 6 of 9 over totals, and 7 of 9 home teams. And for the season, we're sitting at 70% of faves, 52% of covers, 55% over totals, and 61% for the home teams.
Yeah, pretty even week on those stats. You can see 6 out of 9, so it's probably a pretty even week. Again, any time it goes 7 above is probably more the punters than the bookies. But, the bookies are happy to keep getting the 6 out of 9. So, not too much to read out of the overall stats. There's a lot of line movements this week, both in the totals and the line. So, very important when you do bet and knowing where you are in the marketplace to where you think it's going to go as well. But, would have been a big betting week for the bookies. A lot of action going on.
A lot of action for the bookies, yes. Okay, now the AFL Stings. All right, we had, what do we have, 50-50 this week?
Yeah, a lot of action. I think this was... I could have bet on a few more. I didn't want to overload the page too much. We might have had to go on to a second page if I'd backed any more. But, I actually had bets in most games this week, which is very unusual for myself. But, we started out. Unfortunately, Carlton didn't do the job, and we got skunned in the total real late. They scored 3 goals in the last 2 minutes to get that total over. So, ordinary start to the week. And then Melbourne scraped home with the actual goal after the siren. Ben Brown got that home. So, that was close. The Collingwood Collingwood Gold Coast game, that line fluctuated a lot with the weather, and it kind of cleared up. So I thought the over was the play there, and they were tracking beautifully until the last quarter was a disaster actually for total punters, so that missed. Richmond covered late, and the Giants did their job pretty easily. Port Adelaide fought back unbelievably. They were down 40 points at one stage to Freo away from home, so they did show a bit of spirit, even though they probably could have won the game late. Good job for the plus 20.5. Again, we touted that early last week, and that closed at 13 or 14, that line. So, yeah, bit of an even week, a bit of a grind out, unfortunately, but plenty of action for the punters and the bookies alike.
Okay, now we're going to have a quick look at Thursday night's game. We don't have any graphics for you, but Geelong take on Melbourne at GMHBA Stadium, 7:20 p.m. The early market head-to-head, Geelong 2.10, Melbourne $1.75, and the line looks to be about 4.5. No totals at the moment. MG, this could be a close one.
Yeah, absolute cracker here Thursday night. I'd be surprised. The weather looks pretty good. Be a full house down Geelong, I've no doubt. Second versus first on the ladder as well, so can't get any better than the lineups. Geelong in great form. We've won 6 straight. Melbourne now, after having a bit of a mid-season slump, losing 3 in a row, have now won their last 2. So you got 11-win season for Geelong, 12-win season for Melbourne at the moment. So this should be a cracker. I know it'll be built on defence, so maybe not as high scoring as what the fans would like, but both teams like to develop off the back half, so this will be a very interesting strategy game as much as the outcome of the result. Both are off five-day breaks, and Geelong they'll be very motivated in this game. Melbourne beat them in the prelim in Perth last year by 83 points, so really did embarrass them last year, so I think they might be fueled by that result. From a betting point of view, I'm actually surprised that Melbourne are starting favourites at Geelong. Short way to go broke is to back against Geelong at Geelong over a long period of time. So I think the early play here is Geelong plus 4.5. And I don't think there's too many injuries coming out. Melbourne are obviously going to be missing Gawn still. Geelong will be missing Stewart. But I think the value lies with Geelong at home here, so I'd be looking to play Geelong at the plus, or if you like them in the head-to-head, definitely maybe the 1-39 might be the slot there for going into Thursday night.
Okay, thanks for that tip. Maybe Geelong at 1-39 there. Now, if we just have a quick look at the Premiership market, Melbourne 270, Geelong 550, Brisbane 750, Freo 10, Richmond 10, Carlton 13, Sydney 18, Collingwood 19, and St Kilda at 34.
Yeah, Melbourne have probably held. Geelong have come in a bit. And Fremantle with their win obviously locking in, and then Richmond with a good draw going home. Bookies are very wary of Richmond, I would say, and the punters are wanting to back them again if they do like them. So they're probably the value pick of away from the favourite at the moment. I just think with their draw, Richmond are still an outside chance to finish top 4. And then if they do come finals, they're a team capable of going with Melbourne, especially if they got to as far to the grand final, a Richmond-Melbourne grand final at the MCG would be something to see. So, Melbourne are back into probably their right price. Geelong and Brisbane aren't going anywhere, and I think Richmond are the value at the $10.
Okay, Richmond the value at the 10. Thanks, MG. Now, if we have a quick look at Brownlow, Clayton Oliver, 305, Lockie Neal, 375, Brayshaw at 6, Patrick Cripps at 725, and Sam Walsh at 750. They round out the single figures.
Yeah, Clayton Oliver and Neal both had good games again. I've got to go through the replays yet, but they look like they're definitely piling. Oliver with Petrarca in his game, they were both awesome. Neal piled high against Brisbane. Brayshaw was awesome again for Freo, and then Cripps and Walsh are going for Carlton. So there's very few that can win this Brownlow right now. I know we're 6-7 rounds out, but the big guns at the top are going enormous, and this is going to be a high vote count, and it thins out real quick. So just happy the way that that especially Oliver's tracking at the moment. Good to see him a solid favourite at this stage.
Oh, we look forward to Brownlow night. Now, the Coleman medal, Jeremy Cameron, 225, Charlie Curnow, 325, Tom Hawkins, 550, Tom Lynch, 925, Aaron Norton, 950, and Max King at $10.
Yeah, Geelong had a bit of a fill-up, obviously, with their 100-point win. Both Cameron, he got 4, Hawkins got 6, so 10 between them on the weekend. And Charlie Curnow, I think he was disappointing. I think he might have had 1 goal, 3 on the weekend. So, yeah, in terms of the betting, I think, for the leaderboard, I think there's plenty of value outside of the short favourites here. I know Cameron's going enormous. Curnow at 325. I think Hawkins at 550 represents some kind of value. But, yeah, there's, what have we got, 6 players inside 8 goals. So, yeah, this has been a great race all year, and I think it'll continue, and this will go down to the wire, I think.
Okay, we like it when that happens. Yeah, thanks, MG. Now, punters, if you are serious about your AFL punting, you do need the stings, and you can get that in the Little Birdie live TV shop from $22 a week. AFL stings, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll skim the NRL. Welcome back to First Look, proudly brought to you by topsport.com.au, family owned and operated for over 35 years. Bet with the bookie you can trust, bet with TopSport. Okay, because Toprope is sadly sick today, we are just going to quickly go through the NRL results. Manly beat the Storm 36-30, Newcastle beat the Gold Coast 38-12, Penrith did beat the Roosters 26-18, Cronulla beat the Bulldogs 18-6, North Queensland beat the Broncos 40-26, South beat Para 30-12, the New Zealand Warriors beat the West Tigers 22-2, and St George beat Canberra 12-10.
Yeah, a few upsets. Obviously at the top there, Storm, they did charge home, but geez, they were down, I think it was 36-6 at one stage. So Storm, I think, put on 4 tries in the last 10 minutes and maybe 3 in the last 3 minutes. It's crazy. So, yeah, they were actually never in it on the scoreboard from early part, and they made it close at the end. Penrith won a big clash against your Chooks, got the job done by 8 but didn't cover the line, and the other, probably the upset, on the betting wise, was South had a very good win over Parramatta. So they just look like they're back. Obviously, Latrell was back and made a big difference to South. Yep.
Latrell's back. He's in form. He's not going to play Origin, though. He's going to set game 3 out. And interestingly enough, I did look at the press conference after the Melbourne game, and Craig Bellamy absolutely slammed the players. He just said that so many players play rep footy and they back it up every week, and the team just wasn't there on the night. And maybe that's just they just weren't there. So, upsetting result for the Storm, and obviously Bellamy wasn't impressed either. So the bookie wrap, here we go. 5 of 8 faves, 4 of 8 covers, 5 of 8 over totals, and 7 of 8 home teams. And for the season, we're sitting at 69% of faves, 52% of covers, 54% over totals, and 62% for the home teams.
Yeah, we had probably even week again with the stats wise, and a lot of totals were affected with the rain that we've had in Sydney. There was a lot of games, especially on the Sunday, were affected unbelievably. So, there were some good betting fluctuations in the league as well.
Yeah. They had to call the races off too, so that's how much rain they had. And if we just have a quick look at the NRL, so not Toprope's best week, and maybe that's why he doesn't want to front today.
Yeah, one out of 5. Obviously, the Storm getting beat didn't start him off at the start of the week. He did get the over total over, so that was a good cheer. Penrith just didn't cover the line there. They won the game, but missed the line, and you can see there probably the stiff result there was the South Para total going over 42, missed by half a point there. So, not his best week, but we'll see how he hits back this week.
I'm sure he'll be back with a vengeance. All right, now Thursday night's game, Cronulla do take on the Storm at PointsBet Stadium. Cronulla early market $2.15. The Storm is $1.72. The line is 2.5, and no over totals at the moment.
Yeah, a good game, very good game. Actually, 2 top 4 sides. So Cronulla are 4th on the ladder and the Storm are 2nd. Obviously going up there to play in Sydney, the Storm. They'll be looking to hit back. They don't often, I don't know what the stats are because I'm not an NRL man, but I don't think there'll be too many times under Bellamy that the Storm lose 2 games in a row, Nick. So surprise, surprise, Toprope has sent through to me his early lean for the week is Storm minus 2.5 at this stage. So it's not a surprising tip, but I think there's a few more chips will be going in this week to make up for Storm's out-of-pocket expense last week.
Yep. I have no doubt. All right, now we're just going to take a quick look at the NRL Premiership market. Penrith at 220, they're just cementing themselves as the faves. Storm at 360, North Queensland 10, Para at 12, Cronulla 14, Brisbane Broncos 21, Souths 26, Roosters 26, and Manly at 41.
Okay, as Toprope said all year, Nick, racing 2 here, so not much has changed from last week to this week. Penrith obviously at 220. Toprope keeps saying it's a little on the short side, and the value still lies with the Storm head-to-head at the 360. I would be interested. I think obviously with South getting their team back, I'd say they'd be, just my guess, I'd say they'd be the value pick at about $26 if I was having a punt out wide.
Wow, an out wide punt. $26, I don't mind it. I mean, we like a roughie.
Toprope might pick me up on that later in the week. But, yeah, I just think, I don't know, with their side come back, Latrell and all that, I was pretty impressed with the way they went about it on the weekend. So maybe a bit of Ric Flair on South.
Ric Flair on South, we love it. Okay, now punters, for the NRL punting, you do need the GGOA, and you can get that from $22 a week in the Little Birdie live TV shop. GGOA, $22 a week. All right.
Okay, Nikki, this is becoming a one-horse race. I know you don't like to hear this, Nikki. You're very disappointed. You're up and about every time you pick a winner. You're not happy that you're falling off the pace, but it's charity time for our punters who follow us in here. Our Week 17 results. Lucky I'm here to hold up the fort. The Giants getting the job done by 11.5 points. I wasn't going to say it was never in doubt, but they got the job done. Unfortunately, your Eels, you're gonna have to come back to AFL. You can't be betting NRL, Nikki, seriously. No. And obviously, we've spoken about the Storm let Toprope down, so he's moving on and he's bringing up the rear. So for Nikki, I'll throw to you for the Week 18 predictions here for your charity Sids and Kids. Are you coming back to AFL this week? What do you got for us?
I am. I'm coming back to AFL, and this might shock people, but I'm going to take West Coast at plus 14.5 at home. They're going to get Kennedy back, and let's do it.
Okay. I don't mind the play, actually. I think their value. Carlton off a poor win last week and travelling to Perth. Toprope sent in his tip for Wayside Chapel. He is going to go Souths minus 6.5. So maybe me tipping Souths for the Premiership there. He's backed it up with his charity tip, although the way he's tipped these charities this week might also stop that. And myself, for Love Me, Love You, I'm going in the AFL. I'm going to go Thursday night game again. I know it's a tough one against Melbourne, but Geelong at home plus 4.5. I like that price.
All right, plus 4.5 there for MG. Thank you. That is a wrap for this week on First Look. Thanks for joining us. Follow us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, download our podcast everywhere you get your podcast from. Follow us on socials, Little Birdie TV, Twitter and Insta. Remember, all your footy betting action is at topsport.com.au. OB will be here with the boys, hopefully Topropes. Goodbye Friday. Have a great week. We'll see you on Monday.